Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to a brand new reading vlog. So today we're actually going to be doing a very specific type of reading vlog, and that is going to be an ARC reading vlog. I've got a very large amount of ARCs. All of a sudden in the last week I have 14 to read. I mean, I had like 3 of them beforehand, but it's suddenly spiked by 11. What can you do, honestly? I don't even know. But I need to read through some of these, so I thought it'd be really fun to do a couple of ARC reading vlogs if you like this one, reading the books as and when I need to read them. Obviously the whole point of ARCs is to let readers review them, so I feel like this is the perfect video to be doing because you'll get to see my opinions on whether the book is worth you pre-ordering based on my thoughts and feelings. So I've picked 4 books that I really want to read in the next few days. These might change, I might not read some of these, I might read more than these, who knows. But as of what I'm thinking I'm reading right now, I want to read The Book of Living Secrets, Gallant, The Paris Apartment, and The Summer We Forgot, because these are all books that are releasing within the first week of March, according to what the publisher has said. The Paris Apartment is an audiobook, so I'm not going to be like reading that in one go. I'm going to be reading that as and when I need an audiobook. So the review for that is going to be over the vlog, whereas I'm going to try and read all the other books in a row so that you can see my thoughts quite cohesively. So just be aware of that for the Paris Apartment, that it might be a bit of like an overarching theme. I am really excited to read these. I'm not going to be telling you the synopsis until I go into each book, just because I don't want to make this intro too long. So we will keep you updated as the books come, but I'm really excited for this reading vlog, so stick around and let me know down below what your most anticipated release of 2022 is so that I can check them out. So I am sitting down to start Gallant, and I thought I would just tell you what this book is about. So we follow Olivia, who lost all of her family and she attends a school or something, and then one day she receives a letter from her uncle telling her that he wants her to come to his estate to live. But when she gets there, she finds out that that letter is actually years and years old and he is now dead. So she is told, you can continue to stay here, live here, as long as you abide by the rules. And one of the rules is to not leave the estate after dusk, which I find very interesting. I don't know anything more than that. I don't think the synopsis gives any more than that at all. So yeah, let's find out what this is all about. This is quite a long one at 450 pages. But it's one I'm very excited about, so I will keep you updated when I'm at the halfway point. So my update so far is I've gotten to 22%, which is chapter 6. That went so fast. We're looking at 90 pages. How the hell did that happen? I've literally been reading for like less than 20 minutes. This read so fast. I'm confused. Like, something must be wrong. I am having to stop now, very unfortunately, so I'm going to give you my update now. So far, not much has happened. We've seen Olivia in Maryland's school for girls and her growing up there and seeing it's not the best place. We have found out that she doesn't speak, not through choice, like she physically cannot speak. And we have now seen her arrive at this Gallant place after the invite from her uncle. We're going to see where it goes from here. So far, the writing is so well done. The atmosphere is there. It's so atmospheric. It's so dark, spooky, she can see ghosts. Honestly, it's just really impressing me so far. And I'm really excited to get my teeth stuck into some more. I so wish I wasn't going out this evening. Well, I can't just spend my Saturdays in and reading. Ugh, heartbroken. But I am gonna stop and I will get back to you when I'm continuing to read and when I have more thoughts. So far, very enjoyable. I just wanted to do a quick update on my reading progress. Because I have made some. I want to update you on 2 books. First, I read Gallant. I know I didn't give you much of a warning on that one. I finished it. I think this is a very unique book. I think that it kind of sits outside of genre norms. It's very hard to categorize, and I don't actually know what it is categorized. For me, it would be like some sort of magical realism with thriller elements. Kind of, no, not even thriller, more horror elements. YA horror magical realism. I feel like that's where it kind of sits, but it evades most genre norms. I thought it was a very unique story and I really, really enjoyed it. I think that the standout point of this book, like all V.E Schwab books for me, is the writing. V.E Schwab has this beautiful writing style, and it does create a lot of atmosphere in all the books I've read of hers. There's always this eerie capture to them, and I definitely think this one was pretty spooky and eerie. I think even though the writing is definitely the highlight, I would say that the plot is not diminished because of this. The plot is subdued to allow the beauty of the house and the atmosphere to come through. In a way of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, there is a lot of plot, but a lot of the story is the house, is the setting, is the scenery, is the garden. It is very similar in this story, and it has a very similar style to me. I really enjoyed the ending. I thought it was executed well. I would have liked a slightly more drawn out scene of the end. I think what happened was pretty cool. I thought that it lived up well to the spooky environment that V.E Schwab was creating throughout the novel. It didn't let me down. So in regards to this book, I've given it a 4 stars. I think it was very well played out. I enjoyed both Merrilance and Gallant as settings. I think even though Merrilance was a short, small segment of the story, it played really well into segueing into Gallant because they were very similar? Because they were very similar and yet still had very large differences that were compared a lot, but both set a really eerie and spooky tone to the story. I really like the characters from what we do get of them. There could have been more. And I would have liked more introduction to the ghosts that just started right at the beginning as if it was normal. But other than that, I thought that was a really, really good book. I think a lot of people will love this story, and I'm excited to see it come out. I think I would definitely reread it in the future to see the foreshadowing for the ending and also understanding why things happened for what reason. I think would be really lovely to read that again. So it's definitely something I plan on reading again in the future. I am also 60% into the Paris Apartments, and again, enjoying the story. Lucy Foley for me is more of a middle of the road thriller author, but those aren't always bad. This is my personal preference as how I find her stories, but I also sometimes just want an easy thriller to read, and this is definitely one of them. As I said, I had the audiobook from NetGalley, so I'm also reviewing the audio, and in terms of the audio, phenomenal. There's a full cast of characters, and there's a lot of POVs in the story that would be actually a downside if I was reading this physically. I would complain about the amount of POVs because I cannot keep up. But with the audiobook narration, we do get a narrator per character, which has made it a lot easier to follow. I really enjoy listening to their French accents. It really builds up that atmosphere of France. But in regards to the actual story, I'm mixed, I'm torn. Part of me feels like we have really drawn this out. I believe it's only 360 pages, and yeah, it does feel like it could have been shortened. Jess as our main character is great, and I really love her passion to finding her brother, and you can understand her motives. She's got a lot of backstory, she's got a lot of current character development going on. But I do just feel like we are kind of forgetting the fact that her brother is missing, and even though she's trying to find him, I feel like we are really missing that urgency that we should be feeling when someone has gone missing under very abnormal circumstances. So I would like to have seen more tension to it. So far, I'm really enjoying that I trust no one. Everybody has a reason for having, hurt Ben. So it's possible they all have secrets and we're not finding them out, even though we're in their POVs. And it's really suspenseful as well to be seeing them. Bloody hamsters, terrifying. I'm also really enjoying the apartment setting. It's kind of strange. It's not a normal apartment setting feeling. All of these apartments are apparently quite lush and well designed, although in my head I cannot picture Jess/Ben's apartment being that way. It's really run down in my head no matter how bad I try and change the narrative, because I know that's not the case. The apartments are just described really well, and that eerie feeling that they all know each other and that everyone has a secret going on, and the concierge is also spooky and also atmospheric. I just wish there was more to the story, or more at least happening with tension. But again, I did expect it from Lucy Foley, So I didn't go in with high expectations, so it hasn't ruined anything, but the audiobook is what's keeping it top notch for me right now. If you are going to read this story, I 100% recommend you consume it via audiobook.
Why can't we take one of the good batch? Oops.
Oh, it doesn't work.
No, that's what I mean. I think that's why you need a second egg.
How's it going?
Getting better.
Yeah.
My first batch was so good. Not this bad, though.
It's so good.
Yeah. Raw.
That mess we have made. Pancakes have never been so chaotic.
Quite a few days later with an update. So I have finished the Paris apartments. I gave it a 3-star. I think, as I said, it was a very middle of the road thriller. However, the audiobook, which is what I was reviewing, was phenomenal. The accents and the cast was just so good and so helpful for all those POVs, because there was so many. So yeah, very much enjoyed the audiobook, but the book in general was just very middle of the road. It's something I'm finding with Lucy Foley with every book I read, is it's just kind of middle of the road for me. And that's okay. The atmosphere was good. I just felt the conversations were drawn out. It was a little long, a little much. But I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I read it through audio, especially because that was enjoyable. If you were going to pick this up, 100% recommend doing it on audio because that was much better and did make the reading experience a lot nicer for me. So the next book I have to update you on is the Book of Living Secrets by Madeline. Rue, I think her name was. So this is about these two girls who have this favourite book that they picked up in a shop. And it is written, and I think it's a historical romance novel, I think. And they cannot find this author anywhere. They cannot find any more copies of her books. One of their mums works in a bookstore and is trying to get in contact with the author. It's not possible. It was written a long time ago. But they seem to be the only ones with this book. And the man who sold them the book in the shop offers to let them go into the world. And so they obviously are like, yeah, well, one of them's skeptical because she's like, I don't believe in magic. The other one's like, yeah, put me in the world right now. And they do, in fact, go into the world. Then they are separated and take two very different journeys through the book's world. I've got to 30% and I've actually DNF'd it. Now, I don't know if this is a permanent DNF, but it's certainly a DNF for now. And the reasoning being, there was no explanation into this book. It was, I don't know, I had such high hopes, and this plot comes with such incredible abilities and things you could have done, and yet the execution just was not there for me by any means. We started it and we're instantly thrown into a world we don't understand, a world that hasn't been explained. As I just said, I'm not even sure what the genre of the book is. I think historical romance, but I don't know. The first girl gets picked up and kidnapped all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, what the hell is going on? You haven't even been in this world 2 seconds. We don't even know the characters. They were in the book world by like 4% or something like that. And I needed more of an introduction into these girls and to see their love for this book. And another book I've read that's like an example of that is Plain Bad Heroines. I never finished that book. I also DNF'd it. But in that book, there was this book they were obsessed with. And it was kind of like a cult vibe. And I really wanted to see something like that. And yet we had no expression of love from these characters. No time to get to know these characters. No time to love these characters. Which is what I would have needed. So to see us instantly get to know them, instantly get thrown into a world, kidnapped, separated, the other one's at a party, all of a sudden with the characters of the book. And I mean, I know we're 30% in, but like, which is a lot, but so much happened so quickly with no ability to take it in, no chance to know the characters. I don't know either of them. They're both the same people to me. Like, we switch POVs, and other than the fact they're in different places, I don't know who's who. I don't know which one's the skeptic. I don't know which one's the one who embraced it. I have no idea which one is which. And that is very upsetting for such a book that had such high hopes and promisings for. Yeah, so I have DNF'd it, which is unfortunate. I just feel the execution wasn't there for me, and I cannot see myself liking it at any point. But I am heartbroken about it, and I would love to pick it up again in the future, but in a way that I'm wishing it would be different when I pick it up, and obviously it's not going to be. I am back to outro this vlog. I feel like even though I had one more book to read, I would really like to get this vlog up and see how you guys feel about these videos in case I want to film another one maybe next month or in just a couple of weeks. Please let me know what you thought about it. I know it was a bit of a fail considering I DNF'd one. But we did get one 4-star and we did get a 3-star, so I like to think of it as a success. I have so many more books to read, some really exciting titles that I'm lucky to have an ARC for. So if it is something you're interested in getting a second installment of this, please let me know down below, and also let me know what book you're looking forward to releasing this year. So yeah, I was going to read a 4th one, but I got this video edited up to this point and I think it's, you know, long enough to be a nice short quick vlog, so I thought I'm going to let it go and maybe do a second video for you guys with that one in it, or some other more fun books. I actually have a ARC TBR on my Goodreads, which is always linked below. If you'd like to see a second video of this and you have a specific book that I have an ARC of that you would like to see my thoughts on, just let me know and I can do that for you. But yeah, I shall see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.